So I've been asked a few questions recently about what I'm using in terms of audio for video work. So I thought I'd put together a quick summary of where I've been and where I've got to in terms of the audio. So it all started out, I guess, just using or trying to use the native camera mics, which are, they're not great. And originally I was making videos for my wife's business, so we needed something that was better quality. And to start with, I tried using one of these, a Lav Video Mic attached to a camera, but you're prey to external noises, really. So if you're at any distance from someone, like this camera here now is probably 2.5 meters away from me, so any intervening sounds in the background, etc., it's difficult to cut them out. And of course you're limited to whatever the camera audio quality is like, and that's if you can, that's assuming you've got a camera you can actually plug the thing into. So that wasn't great. Decided we needed something a bit better, and the next move was to buy a very long Lav mic. I think that's a 5 meter one on that particular cable, and it's a powered one. So that was better. That certainly provided better audio quality. Speech recognition is definitely much better using one of these. The downsides are that you've got a lot of cable, which is obviously a trip hazard, and of course you can get people who just walk away from the camera unexpectedly and take the cable and mic with them, and eventually the camera. So you've got the trailing cable, you've got the extra complexity of switching the thing on when you want to use it, and depending on your camera you might need an adapter as well. Needed one of these for the X-T20. So it's not ideal. It's better but not ideal. So having realised that a Lav mic was probably the way to go, I decided to take the leap to a complete external recorder with a much shorter Lav mic. And I was quite fortunate to be able to pick up one of these Olympus, I think it's a WS-852. Picked this up at quite a good price. Obviously that's what I'm using now, as you can see. And it has quite a few features that I don't use. And it has things like scene modes, so you can set it up for conference calls. I believe you can also do telephone voice recording, all this type of stuff you can do on it. I don't use any of these features really. But obviously the big benefits for using this, even in its most simplistic format, is that it's got a big memory card in it, so you can record an awful lot of audio, and it doesn't tether you to the camera in any way. You just stick this whole thing in your pocket or wherever. So you're not tethered to the camera. You're not limited by the camera's audio abilities. And most importantly for me is that you're not limited in what camera you can actually use. So you can produce decent audio and be recording the video on any camera you like. And I record quite a lot of my videos on the Olympus EP5, which is what I'm using at the moment, and that doesn't have a mic jack, so yeah, I know you can get an accessory one, but it's a ridiculous price. So it's this, for me, this was the definitely the way to go. And it's got its own little USB thing which pops out, so you just plug it into the computer when you're done and download your files. What I would say is that when I'm videoing on any camera, I still leave the native audio recording capability running, because I use that to help synchronize the external audio with the video. And at the start of every video I make, I go like that to make sure that I've got something recognisable on the audio track, on both the external audio and the camera's native audio, and it just helps me make sure everything's synced up in post-processing, which I do my video editing in DaVinci Resolve. It's pretty straightforward in there to actually get it all lined up nicely. And you can muck about with noise reduction and things like that if you need to. So yeah, that's where I've got to. Quite happy with this setup now. Seems to be working really well. I'm not sure that there's a need to do anything else at this point. Quite happy with this. So yeah, that's what I do for audio. I'll put some links in the description to some of this kit, and I would highly recommend it. It's this little recorder has proved to be thoroughly reliable, easy to use, yeah, and small, takes AAA batteries. It's yeah, just start it up and forget it. Sometimes I do forget to stop it, which causes some fairly large audio tracks, but you know, that's a really minor worry.